Hi, I'm Matt from hockeyreviews.ca, and this is a quick snapshot review of the True XC5 gloves. So these are the lower end model. They cost $100. I did a snapshot review of the XC9, so check that out if you're interested. So one of the quick things about the XC5, you can kind of see on here how the backhand is segmented more on the 9 than the 5. It's kind of a cost-cutting measure, so in theory this will be less mobile because there's more breaks in here that moves with your hand better. Truth be told, these are a very mobile glove, so that's a nice thing. But at the same time, this glove feels pretty good in your hand, and you don't really feel that lack of mobility at all. Actually feels pretty good. So True, I did my test for protection on this glove as well as the 9. This is a fairly protective glove for a lower end model. Again, it's $100, so it's kind of a price point glove. I didn't really feel anything on the thumb. You could feel a bit on here. You can feel a bit. But on the backhand and fingers, it was pretty good. Not as good as the 9, because the 9 is very, very good, but fairly good in that regards. So decent job by True there. My issue with this glove is how the fingers are. You can kind of see how they tilt off to the side there and off to the side there, and I can't straighten the pinky finger and the index finger either. Now these are size 14. And I normally wear 15, so my hands are really in there and should be able to straighten it. But the way that they did the gloves is just weird and awkward. It almost feels like they designed them in kind of the incorrect way. This glove does not feel as bad as the XC9, which is kind of surprising. You can kind of see how this doesn't follow a straight line, where in the XC9, this is out even more. It's very odd and feels very strange. Not sure what True is doing in that regard. Now, this glove, I really do like how True put the same liner on this glove that is on the XC9. It's very nice, just adding that extra little bit in there. It does have the removable top padding in here, just like, let me just take out this one right there. So it comes with that, which is again a really nice feature of True putting in there. Just gives the glove a little more like volume if you want it, and a little more protection. You can always take it out if you don't want it. Now this glove, like I said, it's pretty protective. Comfort is pretty high on this glove. The palm does not feel as nice as other gloves. Again, it is a price point glove, but it's not bad. This palm, the normal Z palm on the XC9 is much softer than this. So that's kind of a drawback, but again, it is a budget glove. It does have stretch nylon gussets. I'm a pretty big fan of those. The only problem is your fingers stick through like this when you're wearing a glove that's too small, but it's very comfortable in that regard. True does something pretty cool with these gloves where they have kind of a customizable cuff, so you can make it bigger or you can make it smaller depending on where you Velcro in the cuff. Just nice to have a little bit of customization there. So this is, like I said, this is the budget glove. It doesn't have quite as much broken inness to it. Comfort is pretty decent. I mentioned on the other glove how because of the way the zipper is, your hand kind of sticks out here. Well, it does stick out here as well on the XC5. And I believe the reason being is it kind of takes the same like design of the 5 and the ones with the zippers. So right here is still kind of exposed because it should be tighter in, but again, it's taking the same actual design and just doing slightly different materials. So I think it's just kind of a cost-cutting thing there, but you do lose that protection there because there is that gap. I guess so. Protection is pretty good. Now, I brought these gloves up because I was a really big fan of the XC7 previous version and the 4.5 4-roll gloves. They did not have the zippers. They had the normal palms. They were one of the most protective and like best price point gloves. They have really like thick foams or good foams in them. The problem is the new 7 and the new XC7 has the zippers, so it kind of loses that benefit. And this one is, I think, a step back than the previous one. Just the way the fingers are made just don't feel very good on your hands at angles, but it's still much better than what the 9 is. So if you really have to get a true set of True gloves, because if you like Marner or something, or get the 5s. The 5s are a better glove than the 9s are. They're more comfortable. They're not as protective, but they're way better than with the zippers, and they don't sit on your hands as weird. So True kind of has a weird thing. Like this could be a great glove, but the design is just slightly off that makes it me not really recommend it. I think CCM, Bauer have better options than this. The one thing that is worse on this glove than on the XC9 is because all the XC9s has a 3-piece fingers except for out here, but it's still tight. The XC5 has a pretty big gap right here, so you can stick your finger through there and in theory a stick. in there, especially the tip of a stick, and that could hurt. That's my issue with a lot of Warrior gloves for protection, and this kind of carries over to the XC5. The difference being the XC5 is a $100 price point glove, where the Warriors are $229. So that about sums it up for my snapshot review of the True XC5. I think there's better options on the market, but this is the best of the new True line. I think True has something pretty decent here, but they just always slightly miss the mark. Again, there's missing the mark, which is how these fingers are cut, because it doesn't really sit outright, and they could be that much better by making those slight changes. So thank you very much for watching. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I hate to say this. Subscribe to me on YouTube, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, links are in the description. Just helps me get gear so I can do reviews and talk about stuff like this. As well, if you ever make a decision on a piece of equipment, it'd be greatly appreciated if you reach out to the manufacturers and said this video or this person is why I was led to your gear. It just gets me exposed to them a little bit more. So thank you very much for watching, and take it easy.